Communication Error.
Welcome to episode 59 of Communication Error Podcast, a gaming debate podcast where we may not always agree, but if we listen to what one another has to say, maybe we'll be able to fix our communication error. I'm one of your hosts, Cheesy, and the man who is excited for Star Wars Outlaws, even though he craps on Ubisoft all the time, John Ebo.
I am excited for Star Wars Outlaws. It looked good.
It does look good.
They showed a mission on Tatooine, which, it's Tatooine.
Tatooine, yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like the cities are going to be kind of full of life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who knows what the gameplay is actually going to be like. It could still be the typical Ubisoft, like, oh, go to this waypoint, climb a tower.
Yeah. So I was kind of like intrigued that you were interested by it because does it not look like a Assassin's Creed game that you like also don't really like?
Not really. I think it looks different. Also, I have a bias towards Star Wars games or Star Wars IP.
Yeah.
Like I've been playing Star Wars Hunters like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably not the best game, but I've been enjoying it because I like being in the Star Wars world. I think it looks good. I think the space combat looks like it's going to be fun. The traveling to other planets, it looks like they fleshed out Tatooine. Because the thing about Star Wars, I don't know if you ever thought about this, but
okay,
they go to different planets, but each planet has like one city. And the whole planet. It's like one city. That
can't be true. There's got to be.
There's like Coruscant it's that one city. Tatooine is the one city.
Well, no.
Or Mos Eisley, or whatever it's called. Mos Eisley.
Yeah.
It's the one city in Tatooine. No, I'm telling you, they never go to like more cities on one planet. It's always there's one city on one planet.
Maybe we'll have to get somebody from like a Star Wars podcast and talk about Star Wars games, but somehow
Crawler, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure sure they only have like one city. Maybe not in games, but in the movies, they have one city per planet.
Huh. Do you think that it's gonna work better than Starfield in traveling to planets?
I don't know. Who knows? They didn't show too much of that. They showed her go into light speed and get to Tatooine. And they showed that you could land on the planet. Like the big thing about Starfield was like it was a bunch of fast travel where like you selected where you wanted to go on the planet and then like you didn't get to actually land on the planet. I'm pretty sure Outlaws allows you to land on the planet.
Well, that we've seen. When they said that, I was like, we've heard this before.
It looks a lot better than I was expecting. Like I thought it was gonna kind of just look generic, and I thought the thing about like non-Nintendo games, we don't really get this in Nintendo games because there's not enough power to do it, but like when there's a city in one of these AAA games, I always feel so empty and there's like nobody in there. But it looked like an Outlaws. It's gonna be pretty bustling.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it looks good.
But are you also saying that because you're a Ubisoft ambassador?
I am a Ubisoft ambassador, and no, because I would still tell you to wait for a sale on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, like Prince of Persia, they showed more Prince of Persia. Actually, Ubisoft, I think they're in the right direction. They're going in the right direction. Their pricing structure is ridiculous, but that has nothing to do with the actual games themselves. Like, they have the Ultra Premium Edition. Like, I think one of the Star Wars Outlaws editions is $130 or something.
Yeah, and that you can like get it 3 days early before it releases or something like that.
I love early access. You know why? So this is messed up. This might be a flex, but I always buy, if they have early access, I buy the early access every single time, even if it's like 3 or 4 days early.
But why? Because like, isn't early access for Prince of Persia Rogue? Like,
that
didn't
one's
that
an
come
early
out
access.
already?
That's an early
Yeah.
access. But that's like that's different.
But okay.
So you're thinking so Prince of Persia is in early access, which is just like not fully. It's not version 1.0 yet. If that makes like
Yeah.
Hades 2
Yeah.
is in early access, but that doesn't
Yeah.
mean you didn't have to pay more to get early access. But a lot of these games nowadays, if you get the Ultimate Edition or whatever they call it, you could play the game 3-4 days early, and I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
doing that because I feel like superior to everybody. Just like when we go to Disney, you can wait in line for rides. We
Yeah.
always get the fast pass because we like to
Yeah, of course.
feel
Just going past everybody
all
else
the
that's like waiting in
plebs,
line.
all the plebs. But no, honestly, I'm probably gonna get this one for free. Like it's probably, I don't think I'll have to. I don't think I'll have to pay for it, but who knows? I might be wrong.
It looks cool. Did they give a release date on it?
August 30th.
August 30th. Very cool. Well, I mean, it kind of leads into our conversation of what we're going to talk about tonight. But before we get to that, you want to do some server maintenance?
Yes, we have a new review.
Woo!
Bum, 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 bum. I need yeah, we don't have those fancy sound effects. We have to make our own.
We're not that big of a podcast.
We're not Trippin' G podcast here.
Arr!
Arr. But we got a new review, a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. If you haven't dropped a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, you should.
What are you
also,
doing?
I will shout out Trippin' G about again. They are doing a $50 eShop gift card giveaway, I think. If you give them a 5-star review on Apple.
Wow. Doing a lot more than what we do.
Try to help them out, but they are doing a giveaway. Maybe we'll do that in the future. Who knows? We'll see. I think we would have to go back in time because I would feel bad to only do the ones that we got recently. Like I think we'd have to do because everybody or people that give reviews are still around.
Yeah.
Anyway,
of course.
5-star review says fun show. This is from JBrew94.
Okay.
So it says fun show. These guys put on a good show and delve into many interesting topics. A definite recommendation from me. Keep up the good work, fellas. Also, Super Mario World for the win.
Hey, Jay Brew. You are like one of my new favorite people. Thanks for listening. Thank you for the review.
I don't like this. I don't like it.
You don't like the review because
no, I like the review. I don't like losing.
Yeah. Well, it's new for you, huh?
It is. I thought today. I thought maybe by the time this goes live, I might have lost.
I don't think so, man. I don't think we're getting a
You don't
Nintendo
think?
Direct this week. I think we're getting it next
so?
week. I think they want out of Summer Game Fest and they want to do their own thing.
All right. Well, that is what we're kind of talking about this week. We're talking about. Well, I don't know what we want to call it, but
Death of E3.
Death of E3. Rise of Summer Game Fest.
Yeah.
Really, just this time frame of the year that has always been, a pretty big gaming, like celebration of gaming, I would say.
Yeah.
Like E3 was huge for a while. Then I don't know. So I would like to say that the pandemic is the one that kind of caused it, but I think it was kind of on its way out before the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, from what we've heard, we've never gone to E3. I got to be outside of E3 in 2018 and meet up with a bunch of people, but I didn't actually go to it. But from what I've heard is that it's just super expensive. The food is really expensive and not really worth it. And then 2019, you had the ESA leaking everybody's phone numbers.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So that was bad. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, could Nintendo be to blame for E3 because
that was probably the first. That was probably the first
doing the live presentations.
That was probably the first indication that this might not be sustainable.
Yeah,
where these companies could do something on their own for much cheaper. Because I think that was like you said, I think it was a big thing. Not I don't know if you meant expensive to go to, but it was expensive for the companies to present at
Yeah.
E3. So if Nintendo, they can make a Nintendo Direct for the fraction of the cost, of course they're going to do that. And then the other companies were following suit. The one I remember, I think the last PlayStation like presentation at E3 was bizarre. It was like
You're talking
four
2019,
it was four different games, right? The one or is that the one with
2018. Yeah,
the
yeah,
one with
yeah.
Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima, and they went to different locations.
Yeah.
That was
Like,
bizarre.
good for them for trying something different. And I do love the idea of like having this different atmosphere for each game that you're presenting. But like, what a headache to go into a new venue, to find a seat, to
I
get
remember
everybody in that room, and like all of that was live. So you had to wait for everybody to sit down and like,
I remember
yeah,
there was intermissions between each little
yeah,
presentation, and it took
yeah,
forever. It took forever.
yeah. We did get some live music out of it, which was pretty cool. Uh,
Yeah,
but
that
yeah,
flute
it
guy.
was, yeah, the flute guy. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, when I think of E3, I was trying to think back to like how I even discovered it, and it was either from a friend in school whose dad worked at Activision, but was like super into gaming, and so he kind of would like give me updates on what was coming out. But at the same time, I was watching G4, and I think I stumbled upon E3 on accident, like just one of those days, and I was like, oh, this is like a 3-day thing where they're just releasing new information about games or what's coming out in the future. And then it just became like a very, like what you were saying earlier, a magical time. It's the like the Super Bowl for gamers.
Yeah,
3 days in a row, or that's what it used to be.
it was
And
always
there's
exciting.
always, yeah, yeah,
Like it was always exciting to you know think about or predict or just talk about what these companies are going might show. Even after presentations, you would still see a lot of like hands-on previews of the games.
yeah.
Nintendo had the Treehouse
Mm-hmm.
that they would do after the presentation. So it was like a whole. I always thought E3 was cool, but thinking back at it, before I forget what year they started allowing the general public to come in,
Yeah.
but it always used to just be press,
Uh-huh.
and then for a couple of years they allowed the general audience, which I never got to go to, and I kind of regret not going to. However, I don't think I'm a conference person. There's too many people.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I know what you mean. And just knowing you and being with you in person, like how you are around people. But I think like if you were around people in the gaming community, I think you might act a little different towards it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I've gone to some conventions, and it's just overwhelming. It's just
Yeah.
overwhelming.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it'll be maybe I could do something where it'd be a little bit different because I've gone with my partner. I never really met up with if I met up with other people with the similar interests with me. I think it would be a good time. It's just there's a lot of people,
Hmm.
and I hate being around people, so it's kind of rough. So I don't know what could have caused it to just go away completely. I think they just weren't making money.
Yeah. And like, obviously, we're big Nintendo fans. There were some E3s that weren't that great for Nintendo. I'm thinking of like Link's crossbow training, and or no, it was Skyward Sword, I think. And like the motion controls weren't working on stage.
I don't
remember
remember that. I don't
Oh,
remember that.
I'll
Because
see if
I
I can
might
find
not
a
I
clip
might
for
not have
you.
been following it back then because that would have been back in like 2007. Wait, no,
For Skyward
2011,
Sword?
2010,
No.
2011.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I might not have been following it really much back then because I was still in college. So I didn't really I don't think I was that into games back then.
I mean, okay, what year was it? Was it 2012 where they had the Wii Music uh like showing? Have you seen that?
I think I've seen the Wii Music. I think I've seen the DS one, like the DS when they revealed the DS.
And they had all the women strapped to a belt that just had a DS
Yeah, that might have
sticking
been
out from them.
that might be problematic. Nintendo probably doesn't want you to remember that happening.
They don't want you to remember the slogan "Touching is good."
There's some weird. There was also some weird things in the '90s with like the Game Boy. So they've
Yeah.
done some risque advertisements.
I wonder too if, like, not just thinking about it, like with E3 presentations, gamers are awkward and not everybody knows how to be like a show person. And so I wonder if that was part of it too, where it just kind of came off as cringy more than it was like excited. Like everybody just wants to see the games, which now is kind of where we're at, where they just have made a 45-minute video presentation of like, these are the games, not anybody up on stage trying to explain what's going on or maybe having some errors or
I don't know. I think some of the cringe still comes through. Speaking of Ubisoft, I think some of the cringe still comes through for Ubisoft. But yeah, I think like Xbox, pretty much Xbox, PlayStation, they all steer away from that now. Xbox was just trailer after trailer after trailer. There was not much people. There weren't much like people talking or anything.
Yeah, I don't know why we needed a separate slide each time to know that this game is available first day on Game Pass. Like,
I kind of
couldn't
think
you
it's
put
a
that-
meme. I think it's a meme now. Like
and they
world
just, like-
premiere,
Yeah, of course.
day
But
one
first day
on Game Pass. Yeah.
Yeah.
World premiere. Like when I watched the Summer Games Fest presentation, Jeff tried so hard not to say world premiere. He tried so hard.
Yeah. So I don't know, moving it away from E3 because that's what
It's dead.
everyone did, and yeah, it is dead, and they've tried to bring it back. And it was
supposed to be back this
Hasn't-
year, wasn't it?
it was supposed to be back this year, and then they just said no.
Yeah, because I think a lot of the companies bailed.
Well, wasn't it Reed Pop that was going to do E3 this year?
Oh, I
Who
don't know.
does like PAX?
Oh, I'm not sure. I didn't know that. I thought it
So
was
anyway,
the ESA or whatever.
Yeah, but I thought, or maybe people were wanting Reed Pop to do E3. Anyway, it doesn't matter because it's gone.
It's gone.
It is sad. Like, I guess if we reflect back on it, E3 in itself is just a magical time. Those two, I was going to say letters and numbers, but separately, one letter, one number, this means so much to people. There was something about it, being summertime, and it was usually during the weekend, so you would wake up. Or is that true, or was it on a weekday?
So the presentation started on the weekend, and then the actual like demos and stuff were in the week.
Yeah, so you're just like waking up in the morning, just waiting.
Yeah, remember
for
like
the countdown.
Sunday was always like Xbox. I think. Well, actually, it was like the weekend. It was Sunday, Monday, Tuesday were all the presentations.
Because Nintendo was always usually last.
They
right?
were always last. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I pulled up an article that says E3 has been canceled after 25 years in gaming. This is back in December of 23.
Okay.
So the E3 Expo was shut down permanently. Trade group, the Entertainment Software Association, announced Tuesday. Hold on, I'm just seeing. So it started in 1995. Then it was in hiatus since 2020. But they also had
What?
they had a virtual event in 21.
What do you mean it was in hiatus? We definitely had E3s before 2020.
Yeah, no, starting in 2020. So there was
Oh.
no E3 in 2020.
Yeah.
21
Okay.
there was a virtual event, and then 22 was
22 we didn't have
canceled.
one. Yeah.
And 23 they didn't have one, and now 24 didn't have one. So it is kind of sad to see it go away. But now we have, Summer's Game Fest or whatever we want to call it. I feel like Jeff Keighley takes what's the right word? Like he claims that all this stuff is his idea. Like all these presentations, like he claims it's Summer Game Fest. Like I guarantee when the Nintendo Direct comes out, he's gonna claim it's Summer Game Fest because he's like,
Maybe.
oh yeah, this is my time.
But I think he's also kind of upset with Nintendo because they don't do anything with Summer Game Fest. So maybe he won't even mention them
I'm upset with Nintendo
for not being part of Summer Game Fest.
for not being a part of like this time, unless we find out tomorrow that they're gonna have the presentation on Wednesday.
No, I mean, we're still going to have it in June. To me, June is the E3 magic year or the month of the year.
But I don't know. I like the idea of. I know PlayStation had theirs 2 weeks ago, so I guess they were technically outside of this period too. But like, why? If you want to have a celebration of gaming, and you want to be part of it, like, why would they not just put it in this week? That everything else, like, we started on Friday. The Summer Game Fest, like, general presentation was on Friday. Then there was a bunch of like stuff on Saturday with like the wholesome games, women-led games. I don't know what else was on Saturday, but then Sunday was Xbox and PC, and then Monday was Ubisoft. So like, why not just have everything at one time? And it's not like they need to compete with these other companies trending over them, because Nintendo's in a whole completely different ball game.
Yeah. Real quick, going back to Ubisoft, it made me remember, we're big fans of Community. Joel McHale has hosted several Ubisoft E3s.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you'll have to go back and watch those.
I remember he did one of the Game Awards. I think he did a Game Award? I think he did a segment in the Game Awards. I'm pretty sure it's the segment where they announced Cranky Kong for Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
No.
I'm pretty sure. I think that's like a memory that I have.
That
I think
was a
Joel
mini direct. That was
No,
a mini
it was
direct.
it was during Game Awards. They announced Cranky Kong.
Yeah, we'll have to double check this.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's Joel McHale. I just have a vivid memory because he was just like awkward, like super awkward. Anyway, but Summer Games Fest, like I'm glad like we have something that is like the celebration of gaming now. I just wish that everybody would get involved. Like,
I don't think Nintendo, I've brought this up before. I don't think Nintendo wants anything to do with Jeff Keighley. There's just
Why?
something about, I don't know, but like they
Reggie
haven't.
loved
They
him.
haven't-
Reggie
they
loved
haven't
him.
done. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but like ever since Reggie left, they don't really do anything with Jeff Keighley. Jeff Keighley has what, 3 like big shows out of the year? He has Summer Game Fest, he has Game Awards, and then there's one during Gamescom, isn't there?
Does he do one for Gamescom? I know there are. I don't know if he does one for like the Game Awards or whatever. Except for he'll probably claim it to be part of Summer Games Fest, because that's what he does. He just, this is my idea.
I mean, he basically has 3 Game Awards throughout the year. They just, one of them hands out awards and lets you kind of talk, but the rest is all just showing world premieres.
When did he start this Summer Game Fest? Was it 20?
I feel like it was 2020, right?
All right, hold on. I'll check the Wikipedia.
Because nothing was.
Yeah, so
E3
it was
wasn't
20.
happening.
It was 20. Oh, this is weird. So, all right. So I have on the Wikipedia. So the event name is Summer Game Fest. It starts May 1st, 2020 through August 24th, 2020.
You don't remember that?
3 months. Then
You don't
21.
remember that?
Hold on. Then 21 was June 10th through July 22nd. So we got a month there. Then 22 was June 9th through June 12th. 23 is June 8th through June 11th. And then June 7th through June 10th. So they had 3 months the first year.
Yes and no. Because even though it was during 3 months, not every day had some kind of gaming news, right?
Maybe that's what I'm thinking about. Like he was just claiming every announcement was part of Summer Games Fest. Like if any game showed a trailer, he's like, "Oh yeah, that's part of Summer Game Fest."
It's during this window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, this is the same time period that E3 would be. Well, E3 was a week, but the first 3 days were the presentations, and then they had the hands-on previews and stuff, which I do kind of miss developer interviews. Like they used to do that a lot, like developer interviews, and if they could expand it out. I think this is the first year that Summer Games Fest actually had an in-person event. Like there was an event in person. So if they could expand more on that and make it a week where developers could give more previews, do interviews and everything like that, that would make it more like E3. And maybe it's not sustainable. Maybe that's why, like, it costs too much money to do that. So you just put the presentations out, and then you have and that's about it. Just presentations.
I wonder how many developers actually hate E3 time. Because that means that they're like on a crunch to get something out because they know that they have to get something out during June.
It's poor management skills because they know it's every year.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, then you can't put crunch on them.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think you should crunch for it, but you can plan it so it's not as overwhelming. Like everybody knows the second week of June is when people are going to be looking for video game news and new game announcements. So like it shouldn't be a surprise.
It's probably stressful. It's probably like their tax season.
Yeah, exactly. Like I know taxes are due April 15th every year, and it still sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I love this time of year. I love it. I love this time of year.
But do you still feel the same way about it?
Yes, because I never went to E3. So like I don't know what E3, I don't remember what E3 had that we might be missing. Maybe some of the charm. Like I do think Nintendo's
any booths.
Yeah, there's no booths, but and now even like PAX doesn't really have there's no booths anywhere really that were kind of to the standard of what they were at E3. But again, like I never went to E3, so it doesn't really affect me. All I really cared about were the game announcements, and this time of year was always so fun because everybody was talking about video games, new game announcements. Like everybody just came together, and that's kind of how I feel now. There's a lot of stuff to talk about right now. A lot of presentations happened, and I wouldn't miss an Animal Crossing booth because I kind of felt left out. Like I wanted to go to E3 to experience these things, but I never could.
Mm-hmm.
But now you just kind of watch the presentations, talk online. I don't think we're missing out really on what E3 was.
I get annoyed with all of the CGI trailers and
I mean,
no
it's always been
gameplay.
CGI trailers, though.
No, it hasn't. I mean, like that's also part of the reason why E3 was so long and why these presentations sometimes were like 4 hours long is because they would show the trailer. Sure, they would show like what's in the game, but then they would have somebody on stage demoing the game.
I mean, some of the trailers are gameplay trailers.
Some, but it's like very rare if we actually do see gameplay today.
I think I'm trying to think, the Xbox showcase, we didn't see much gameplay. We saw some gameplay for like Avowed and Indiana Jones and
Yeah.
stuff that's coming out this year. We saw gameplay for. We saw gameplay for Star Wars Outlaws. We saw gameplay for Assassin's Creed. For PlayStation, I honestly can't remember what was even in that presentation because it was lame and boring.
So it was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I think they did show gameplay for that Concord game.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, that was the first thing they showed.
Yeah, and it was like, and that was super long, and people weren't happy about it.
Yeah.
It was, the presentation was 40 minutes or not even 40 minutes, and they spent like 15 on Concord. And they showed gameplay. So you can't satisfy everybody.
No.
I actually think the gameplay segments are boring.
That's interesting to me because I feel like you're the person who wants to see gameplay more than a trailer because you've complained about it so much on this show that you don't want to play a game where it's like a bit of dialogue or you get to finally move and then it's a cutscene.
Yeah, but when you think about it, like they throw you in the demo is they throw you into like the Star Wars Outlaws demo that they showed today. They throw you into like a mission that you have no idea what's going on. You don't know why you're doing this thing. They just want to put you into a mission to show some gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't make any sense. And I would rather experience that for myself.
If it is that way. Because maybe it's something that they just put together for.
I mean, I'm good. I'm good with a 3-minute gameplay trailer. Like, I'm fine with that. 15, 20-minute demo? No.
No, okay, I agree with that too.
But that's what Outlaws was. It was like a 10, 15-minute demo. And it's like, this is going on too long. But it does look like I'm excited for it, but not because of that gameplay trailer that they showed.
Mm-hmm.
Or the gameplay demo. I didn't watch the whole thing today. I don't know if they showed how long the Assassin's Creed demo was.
It was about the same, like 15, 17 minutes.
But I do like what Xbox did. Like at the beginning, they opened with Call of Duty, right?
Yeah.
And then they're like, if you want to see more, we're gonna have a presentation after this with the gameplay. I like that. Then you could watch it if you want and not like it's not bogging down the presentation as a whole.
They did that a lot with the Smash Ultimate, where they would release a character and then it was like maybe the next day or the next week they would show the how that character fights.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like that.
Yeah.
Where it's out there if you want to watch it, but it's not like forced upon you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think the Xbox presentation was really good. I thought it was very good. I think it was well paced. Like they showed they had Doom, which was gameplay, which looked freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect Dark, they showed gameplay. Like there was South of Midnight, one of my most anticipated games. That looks awesome. They showed gameplay in that. So you're lying. Yeah. You're lying to the people.
I guess, yeah. So, I mean, you're right. Like, if it's just 3-5 minutes, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see it dragged on.
So what do they call? They call them a vertical slice. Like, that's what the demos are called. Like, the ones that they would have at E3, where you would... I always remember like Uncharted, where they would play through a mission of Uncharted, and that's a vertical slice of the game. I just don't like how they just throw you into like the middle of the game. You don't know what the heck's going on, and then they want you to be like, "Oh yeah, this is awesome, right?"
But again, I feel like you're contradicting yourself because you like games that don't tell you what to do.
But that's different. That's different.
How is that different?
No, like
That's the same thing.
but I don't know like what the heck happened beforehand. It's just
You don't know what happens when you start a game and they don't tell you anything. You're just figuring it out on your own. You don't know.
yeah, but
what
it's like in
happened
the
at
it's like in
beginning
the
of Mario
middle.
Bros.
It's like in the middle of the game. Like they're not showing you the opening of the game. It's like the middle of the game,
as far as you know.
and they just plop you in. They're like, "All right, we're not going to tell you what's happening. We're just gonna." There you go.
Yeah.
I like
gotta
the
be
short
hard, though.
gameplay. Like I don't want to watch a 10, 15-minute demo. I don't.
Yeah.
3 to
No,
5 minutes, 2 to 3, whatever.
I agree with you. I do want to see gameplay though, because when you see a CGI trailer and they're like, "Isn't that super cool?" You're like, I mean, I guess, but I don't know.
Gears looks
anything
pretty
of, like,
freaking awesome.
it does. It does. So I mean,
You know what's
I don't
funny?
know.
All right,
There's
so
not-
we're Nintendo fanboys, and whenever I watch a PlayStation or a non-Nintendo presentation, I'm like, oh my god, that's what games could look like. Well, we got these like little cartoony games over here, and then you got like Doom, where he's like, well, the gun is like churning up skulls. Like we would never see that on a Nintendo game, or
Yeah, we got Animal Crossing, where Isabelle is giving you the daily news. And
yeah. Yeah. So I really liked. I had a lot of fun this weekend. I thought it was a good weekend. Like the Summer Game Fest, I thought it was good. Like it was a good weekend. The Summer Game Fest presentation was a little meh. Like, it wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. I do like what he's doing though. What Jeff Keighley is doing. He's trying to showcase more indie games, which I appreciate. Yes, he is.
Let's talk.
They didn't
about
show.
that.
They didn't show any indie games at Xbox. They didn't show
I'm-
any indie games at Xbox.
The lowest price for putting your.
But we don't know that. We don't know he made them pay for it.
We
We don't know. We don't know we made them pay for it.
Okay. Well, wait. What are you talking about?
Are you talking about if if you want an ad in the Summer Game Fest, you have to pay like $225,000 or something?
Yeah, it's like the lowest.
But
like,
we don't know.
I
We don't
forget-
know. We don't know if he charges everybody because like he might not charge indie games to do it.
So then, what would be the requirement?
If he likes it. Because that's the vibe I got from him. Maybe I'm optimistic. Maybe he is charging these indie games like a quarter of their budget to put a trailer out, but he might just like that one game. I forget what it was called, Cuff Bears or something, or
Yeah, Cuff Mates or
something
Cuff,
Cuff
like that. Yeah.
something. I think he just
Yeah.
liked how that looked. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm being optimistic on this.
Yeah, I remember Lucid, which is a game that's coming out here soon, tweeted that they couldn't put their game in Summer Game Fest if they wanted to, and that was like more than what their budget is. So if you like it, then share it around, or like help us get our game out there other than Summer Game Fest.
Yeah, for context, I guess we should. For context, there was a report that came out that said how much it costs to put a trailer or get your game into Summer Game Fest. The general presentation, and I think it was like $225,000 for a 30-second spot. It was like and it goes up from there, like $325,000 for like a minute. And then 2.5 minutes was like 500,000 or something. Like it was definitely more than these indie games could afford. But I don't know. I
So this is
I wanna
what
hope Jeff is not an awful person, and that he actually cares about the video game industry.
I think he does care about the video game industry, but he obviously has to get like the biggest games out there, right? Because that's what people are
Yeah, but
looking forward
that's what
to.
pays the bills, and then you show
But then that's
titles that
not
you
really,
want
like
to.
you have a platform to do something of showcasing all of these other
But
developers.
they did.
Whether
So
people
they had the general presentation, then they had the Play Next. I think it was called Play Next. That was like right after the general presentation, which people probably watch. Then there's Devolver Digital that was after that. They had the Wholesome Games Direct. They had I forget what else was on Saturday. There was another woman led games. That was another
there
one.
was Day of the Devs.
Yeah, Day of the Devs. So I mean, I get it. I understand. Like, he wants to make money too. So yeah, of course he needs to charge these companies something. But who knows? Like, we don't know what's actually happening. I don't know. I don't think he's charging these indie. I don't think he's charging the indie games the same amount.
I would hope not, because I found the article. 1 minute, a 1 minute trailer is $250,000. Minute and a half, 350,000. 2 minutes is 450,000, and then 2.5 minutes is $550,000.
That's
That's
crazy.
a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. Like, I wonder if there's no way there's a return on, like, you could get that return.
No,
Even on a bigger game, like, there's no way. There's no way you're getting the return on your money on that you could tell.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's gonna be like, oh, I saw what was a big, I'm trying to think what one of the big titles was that they had at the Summer Game Fest. It wasn't much.
yeah. I mean, like,
See, that's the problem. I don't remember them, and then you're paying hundreds of thousands
True.
of dollars, and I can't
True.
remember any of the games there.
there was okay. Well, I remember one. There was Horizon Lego.
Yes, and
There
I
was
will be buying that on
the
Nintendo Switch.
Oh yeah, you have to, right?
Yeah, you have to buy it on Nintendo Switch. Everybody who wants to buy Lego Horizon, don't buy it on PS5, buy it on Nintendo Switch. We have to show that the Nintendo Switch players are 100 times better than the PlayStation players.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, we got to prove. We're proving it. Like, we want it to sell more on Nintendo Switch than on PlayStation.
Yeah, we want PlayStation IPs on Nintendo, but we don't want to give Sony any Nintendo IPs.
Yeah. Get out of here. Would you even ask that?
There was the Power Ranger game. That
Oh,
looks pretty
yeah.
cool. Yeah, what else? What was in the
How do you even
the
check?
coolest?
I'm on the
Honestly,
website.
one of the coolest announcements I think of Summer Game Fest is Outer Sloth, which is the Inner Sloth team that made Among Us. They have made a company called Outer Sloth to help other indie developers get their games to be seen.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that, though.
Oh, you didn't see that?
I definitely fell asleep like halfway through.
It was weird that they showed like a little bit of footage for the Among Us series, and then they had like the voice cast listed out, but nobody is speaking in it. So they obviously haven't recorded anything yet.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty big cast.
All right, I'm looking at the list of things that were announced. Lego Horizons, that was the opener.
Yeah.
No room in Hell 2.
I don't remember.
Quidditch Champions. It's called Cuff Bust, by the way.
Oh, there it is.
That's made by one guy.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
So did that one guy pay?
I don't think so. I don't
$250,000?
think so. There's no way. Like, I'm looking at this list. You think that the game from the Grease team paid 250,000? So I think the games like Lego Horizon, Star Wars Outlaws, Quidditch, Civilization, Metaphor, like these are the big titles, are the ones that are covering the cost. I don't know. Maybe I'm being optimistic.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's anything in this article that says if certain developers pay, or if there's any kind of criteria or anything, but it's not really saying much. It just says same prices reportedly applied to the Game Awards 2023.
I mean, that's probably why Nintendo doesn't want to be involved.
Bank, man. Yeah, that's what, like, when you think about Nintendo, they are doing it so cheap. There's really,
and they don't need Jeff. They don't need Jeff to advertise their games. I mean, I get it. I understand why they don't do it. They're just being a bunch of losers. Like, they should have fun. Well, maybe Nintendo they don't need the games in the Summer Game Fest presentation. Right?
I just don't think it fits, if I'm being honest. Like, it's totally different audience.
That's lame. It's a
different
no, it's
audience.
not the different audience. They showed Lego Horizon. The exact audience. The exact audience.
That's a Sony IP.
So you're saying Nintendo fans are not real gamers? Is that what you're saying? That's what you're saying?
No, never came out of my mouth.
That's 100% what I heard.
Then you need to clean out your ears.
No, they don't need to be in the Summer Game Fest presentation. I get that, but they should be around this time. Like, I don't want to wait another week and a half or 2 weeks whenever they're going to release their Nintendo Direct. And maybe by the time this goes live, it will already have happened.
Yeah, maybe we're eating crow. Yeah. But, like, to me, as a Nintendo fan, I find that more exciting because it's just kind of like,
I don't. It's
okay,
lame. It's lame. They're trying to act like
you're fun.
They're trying to be like, oh, we're so cool, we're so different. I'm not. What's that? I'm not your typical girl or whatever. Like, I'm not.
You were on a roll though, and then you lost it.
Yeah, like, oh, we don't need you. We're completely different. You know,
I'm not your typical girl.
Yeah, I don't. There's something. There is something where, like, it's a trope. It's a trope. All right, it's a trope. I'm not making this up.
Not your average girl.
Hold on.
I don't. Yeah, because I don't know what Johnny is trying to say.
Not your average Joe.
I'm not. I think, yeah, they are different though.
Not your typical girl. I was right.
All right.
It's like they're supposed to. They're all. They're not super girly. They're not. Not your typical girl. Just like Nintendo's like, I'm not your typical video game company. Grow up, Nintendo. We all want to have fun right now. We don't want to, like, nobody wants to talk about this stuff 2 weeks from now. We're all having fun right now.
They get their own spotlight. What are you talking about?
But it doesn't matter when they post it. It doesn't matter.
We just had trouble trying to remember what some of these games were that were announced.
But it doesn't matter. Nintendo's different. I remember what happened on Xbox. I remember Xbox. I don't remember Summer Game Fest too much, but Nintendo is not your typical video game company when they can post it whenever they want. So why then it doesn't matter. They don't have to abide, like they don't have to worry about getting the lunch eaten by these other companies. So why not just put it in the week where everybody's talking about video games?
Being special, being on your own.
No, I'm not your typical girl. I'm not your typical video game company.
If it works, man.
It's boring and lame. They're boring and lame.
You say that now, and then you're gonna watch the direct, and
then I'm gonna be like, "Oh man, it's all remakes and remasters."
You're gonna eat a chip, man. There's gonna be one game.
It's
There's
gonna be
at
something
least
really
one
stupid.
game.
It's gonna be
Yep,
something,
and you'll still have to eat it.
it's gonna be Switch Sports Resort.
Actually, that could happen.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be something dumb like Mario Party, Switch Sports, Kirby.
Does a DLC count?
No,
Okay.
unless it's like you can play it without the game, which I don't know if Nintendo's ever done that.
You could play it without the. Oh, like if
Because there
There is-
are some games that they
Yeah.
released DLC that were standalone.
yeah.
Like I think Miles Morales is technically DLC. If it's like that, then yeah. But if it's just like Switch Sports DLC, no.
Okay.
If they make me pay for baseball, yeah,
No, that will be for sluggers.
I wouldn't mind Sluggers. I don't think we're getting a Mario. I don't think we're getting a Mario sports title.
Yeah.
Not until the
So
next
I-
system.
Going back to Summer Game Fest, there was part of me that like I don't know. I just felt like Jeff Keighley. There were there were games where he couldn't care less about what it was, but because it was in the show, he was like, "All right, that was
that's
that.
fine.
Next
That's fine.
game."
I don't think you should have to love everything.
No, but you're the one who's like in charge of or the face of gaming right now. Like, let's be honest. Jeff Keighley right now is the face of gaming or is trying to be. And I just don't know what that says to other developers. If it's just kind of like, oh, that was weird. I don't know why it's in this showcase. Let's move on to something that I enjoy.
I mean,
It
that's
just
fine.
seems-
I think that's fine. I
It's
think
a
that's
bad
fine.
vibe.
I think it's fine. That's why he had another person come on the show. I forget what her name is, but no, that's fine. It's like saying you have to love everything you do with the job. I don't.
Yeah.
Same with like it's the whole debacle with Star Wars where the guy said that Anakin blew up the Death Star, which he clearly was he misspoke, but everybody's like, "Oh, these people don't even like Star Wars," and I'm like, I don't care if they like Star Wars. I don't
What are you
care.
talking about? I don't know.
Oh,
what this
so
is.
there's an interview with the Acolyte actors,
Oh, okay.
and the guy that plays Yord said something that he said that Anakin blew up the Death Star. Like, he misspoke.
Uh-huh.
But people are jumping on him like, oh, these people don't even like Star Wars. They should love it. And I don't think that's true. I don't think you should have to love your job to do your job.
You should probably know the source material.
No.
Nope. I can never be right.
No, I
Right?
mean,
Is that-
I'm
that's
just
what
saying.
you're saying?
Yeah, you don't need to know the source. That's such like that's no.
It's good homework.
No, it's a
I mean,
job. You get paid.
I was only
you do
an
your
actor
job.
and studied it, so I mean, what do I know?
Harrison Ford famously does not like Star Wars.
Yeah, probably. He didn't like it when he was filming it.
Yeah. You do not, anybody listening, no. You do not need to know the source material of everything. It's just a job.
Yep. And then we get shows like Halo or Uncharted where nobody knows the source material or
I mean,
Or
the
has played
writers
the
should
games or-
should probably know the source material that they're basing
the
it off of.
actors
That's
don't
on
have
them.
to-
No.
I mean, okay, yeah, I get the actors can do what they want in like creative expression.
Yeah, let's ask Robert Downey Jr. about every single Iron Man comic.
I bet you he has read a lot of. I bet you that is
That's-
part of the MCU. That's maybe not everybody. Tom Hiddleston knows the MCU.
Yeah, but I mean, I think you can. I just don't think it's a necessary requirement to be an actor to play a
it helps
character. It might
it
help,
helps
but I don't think
knowing
it's
the character.
necessary. I don't think it's necessary.
Anyway, I don't even remember how we got on this conversation.
I don't think Jeff needs to love every single game that's in the presentation.
Okay. I guess he doesn't have to. He's still making bank. So
yeah, he's making money off of it. That's the thing. It's just like, it's a job.
it did seem like he like took a shot backstage and then kind of presented the show. Like something was off about it.
I don't know. He was probably just like, I think he tweeted something saying that it wasn't before the show. He said it wasn't like, there weren't a lot of big announcements.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely warned people ahead of time that it wasn't going to be like one of the biggest shows ever and to lower expectations.
Yeah, so he lowered his expectations, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I think E3 is, even though, yeah, it is kind of the same, I think E3 in itself meant something different. And now it's just kind of, whether it is the same or not, you just have this thing that is replacing something else. And it's like, I see what you're doing, but it's just not as good as what it was. And maybe that's just nostalgia. You know, we've had that conversation before, but it's like, I just don't feel the same about Summer Game Fest that I did with E3. That being said, you're right. Like, there are a lot of developers who are getting noticed during like Day of the Devs and Wholesome Games and whatever else there is. But and Devolver Digital, man, I appreciate what it is that they're doing and trying to be different. Not trying, they are different. And it feels like I'm watching Adult Swim all over again and makes you feel super uncomfortable, but you remember it and it's kind of just sticks with you. So I think they did it right. Like, you're talking about it, but it's just, it feels so weird that they have this like horror kind of uncomfortable feeling to their presentation, and then there's games that have nothing to do with the rest of like their sketch.
I do think the games that they publish are on the weirder side. Like, there was a game in that presentation where you're just kicking people the whole time.
Oh yeah, Angry Foot or something like that.
So I think their games they definitely have a distinct feel to them. Like, they did Cult of the Lamb, that has a feel to it. Yeah, whenever I see a game that's published by Devolver Digital, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. That's a weird one.
Yeah, I really want to see more gameplay for Skate Story. I don't know if you've seen anything on that.
Is that the one where you like explode?
Kind of. You're made out of glass.
Yeah,
you're
a
demon. You're a demon trying to escape the underworld, but you must skate, is what they say. So I think that game looks really cool. Angerfoot is that game.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's weird.
Yeah.
Just like the presentation. It was weird.
Yeah. Lucky Squire probably wouldn't have fit in that presentation, so I hope we hear more about that soon.
That's going in the Silksong territory.
No, it's definitely coming out this year. Is Silksong coming out this year?
No. No way.
Yeah.
They would have showed it at Xbox.
Who was it in our chat, in our community, that was like talking about Perfect Dark, and you were like, oh, I'm not excited for it because it doesn't come out until next year.
We don't know when it comes out.
I thought it was 2025.
Perfect Dark, I don't think it had a date.
Oh, okay. But then somebody was like, yeah, imagine waiting for a game that was announced back in 2017.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that was Metroid Prime 4 or uh, Silk Song. I don't know which one it was. It could be both.
No, it was definitely Metroid Prime 4 because Silk Song that wasn't announced until 2019, I think.
I will say, like, I don't like that. I mean, this is just for the presentations in general. I don't like when it's just games that aren't releasing until who knows when.
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited for the games that are going to come out in 2024, and the ones that were said to be 2025. Yeah, I could, like, be, oh, that's cool, but I'm gonna forget about them, and then they might get delayed. Like, I think today for Ubisoft, they announced the Prince of Persia remake is going to be in 2026. Like, I don't care about a 2026 game right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just show me what's coming out in 2024. I know, like, they use the 2025 stuff and the stuff beyond to get people excited, but, like, I don't care. Like, I'm not going to think about this until the year it's coming out.
You weren't thinking about Tears of the Kingdom?
No, that was one of my complaints. Like, when they announced it, I'm like, oh, okay, they showed a trailer, and it didn't come out for like 4 more years. But it wasn't in the back of
your mind that they're making a sequel to Breath of the Wild?
I mean, I kind of figured that they would do that. Same with Mario. Like, I know they're making a Mario game, so like, oh, they announced a Mario game. Oh, okay, I know. Same with, like, when you said Splatoon 4 might be in development. Yeah, Splatoon 4 is in development. I can guarantee you that. There's a new Animal Crossing in development right now. There's a new Mario Kart in development right now. We know these games exist.
Come on, Breath of the Wild was different, and you know it.
No, it wasn't. We know. We knew there was going to be another Zelda game. We knew there was going to be another Zelda game.
There was no guarantee that it was going to be a sequel to Breath of the Wild.
No, it doesn't. If it's like, I think they showed that like 4 years before it actually released, didn't they? It was
2019.
Yeah, like, I don't care.
There's something wrong with you.
No, like, I got excited for Metroid Prime 4 when it was a splash screen. Here we are, 6 years later, nothing. It's stupid to get excited for that stuff. It's dumb. Don't get excited for games that are not coming out in the year, in the current year. These are gonna get delayed. They're gonna get delayed.
We have a direct coming up.
But they're not going to show anything that's coming out next year.
You don't think so?
No.
Oh, come on, man.
They could show a Mario game that they're not going to say, like, this is on Nintendo Switch or a Switch successor. And that's it. But even, the 2025 games, I'm not going to care. Like, if they do show 2025, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm going to hold you to that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I really don't.
You're not going to tweet about it? You're not going to talk about it?
I mean, I will tweet about it. But I'm not going to, like... People act so weird when games get announced. Like, Gears of War E-Day got announced, and it's like, yeah, it's cool, but we know it's not coming out for, like, 5 years. So why get excited about it now? Why?
Because it's just the thought of it existing.
That doesn't get me up in the morning.
I mean, probably shouldn't. Like, games shouldn't get you up in the morning. There's probably more important things that should get you up in the morning.
I don't know. I think being excited for things helps you get through the day.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not excited for something that's not going to happen for 2 years. Like, oh boy, this game's coming out probably 2 years from now. Really gets me through the day.
I would say we have a community of listeners, and they're all going to hold you to it.
I did a podcast when Tears of the Kingdom was announced, and I remember saying that I was not excited because there was no release date. We didn't know when it was coming out. It's just like the tweet that Fuka whatever. I feel bad.
Furukawa
tweeted about the Switch successor, and everybody was losing their minds about it. And it's like, yeah, we knew the Switch successor was happening.
Yeah, okay, but we didn't
We know
when they were going to talk about it.
Oh, and an announcement of we're going to talk about it in the next 12 months. That's not exciting. We've been waiting 8 years. Like, that's not exciting.
I think it's kind of exciting.
Give me the announcement. The
clarity.
announcement is exciting. Like, to show me what it is, that's exciting. Not
No,
the
it's not.
the Switch
But
successor
now-
is going to happen. We'll
No,
talk about
if
it in
they
the next
show
12
you-
months.
If they show you what it looks like, if they show you the announcement, why are you excited about that if you still have to wait like a year for it?
Because, no, I just think that would be exciting to see the actual thing, not the announcement that they're going to show the thing within 12 months. Like, that's not exciting.
So it's for you, it's exciting if you do get to see something. So like for the new Prince of Persia game that they announced for 2026, let's say that they had some gameplay already to show or a trailer or whatever, and it still is 2026. Let's say it's 2025, just next year. Are you still excited for that game? Because
really.
they announced it and they showed it to you. So what's the difference? What's the difference if they show a
Because
console that's
Nintendo's
not even
better.
gonna be out tomorrow?
Nintendo's better, and I want to see new consoles are a completely different beast. New consoles are a completely different beast. Like, seeing what Nintendo is going to do with a new console is more exciting than a game that I'm going to forget about by the time it comes out.
You know nothing about it though. They just showed it off.
Hey, that's all. I'm so sick of people just speculating on what the Switch 2 is. Like, they should just freaking show it.
Okay, I agree with you, but if they show like if they do the same thing that they did for Switch, which was a good trailer, it didn't tell you everything you needed to know about that console.
But then so they showed it in October. Then so that wasn't even a year out. They showed it in October. They did the presentation, full reveal in January, then released it in March.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a good cadence. I don't think announcing that you're going to talk about it within the next 12 months is an exciting announcement. And
so
it doesn't.
They shouldn't do those announcements anyway. We're going back to like Summer Game Fest and all that. Like, they shouldn't even put it in the presentation.
No. Or they shouldn't even well, maybe they shouldn't have mentioned it at all. Like, well, I know Fukuhara, I know they said it because their investors were like, yo, where's the next system? That's the reason they did it. They don't care about the players. They just wanted to satisfy the investors.
You don't think Nintendo cares about the players?
Not for that. It was like a random tweet at 3 a.m.
I mean, Nintendo has been doing random tweets lately, but I don't know. For me, just feel like Summer Game Fest is different than E3, but and maybe it's because it still is so new and they're just trying to figure all of it out.
I don't think it's much different than E3. I don't remember anything about E3 besides the presentations. And I don't think they're much different. I mean, they were live, which caused, I think a lot of people didn't like because I didn't like that they were live because it caused issues. Like, the demos just didn't work sometimes.
Yeah.
So the more controlled environment avoids that. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember E3, and I'm just glad that at least Jeff Keighley kept it around. Like, if Jeff Keighley wasn't a thing, we wouldn't have anything this time of year. And that would be sad.
I feel like Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, maybe Ubisoft would probably all do their own thing.
Yeah, but probably not at the same time of the year.
Yeah, probably not. I don't know. Maybe they would. But there's definitely some memorable moments. of E3. Definitely some cringy moments. I just went back in my mind and was like thinking about the announcement of the Kinect and showing that off, and what a train wreck that was. It wasn't good.
I don't remember.
Do you? Oh man, you're gonna have to watch those. There was like a kid named Milo that you can talk to, that could be like your friend. They had some kids going up on stage and playing the Connectimals. Is that what it was called?
I have no
It
idea.
was like these cute little animals that you could like pet, but you're like in front of the Connect, and you just interact with them. Uh, they said that you could like scan stuff in your own world, and it would be in the game. So like they showed off somebody scanning their skateboard in front of the Connect, and then that was going to show up in like the next Tony Hawk game. That never happened.
Yeah, I mean that's not. I mean it's not just video games that do that. Like
Oh.
there's like we've been watching like stuff about the Star Wars land in Disney and what that
Mhm.
was all supposed to have, and it nothing ever came to fruition.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's probably better that they kind of keep it to game trailers, so they don't have false promises.
It's interesting. I'm glad that we have this time as well. I'm glad that there is a a certain time of the year where gamers do get excited about things. It's hard because then you go online and people are like, "Oh man, that really sucked. That was awful." Blah blah blah, and they can't like be appreciative of anything. Um,
I mean that would happen with E3 no matter what.
yeah, no, I know. You can't please everybody, and expectations are always really high. But I just think it's a good time. Everybody's talking about gaming. And then it gets you to go back and play some of these games, or like I showed Hannah Star Wars Outlaws, and then we finished Bad Batch tonight. So I don't know. I mean,
Are
it's
you gonna
just
get? Are you gonna get something that can play Star Wars Outlaws? Actually, your PC probably can.
can it?
I think you have a decent PC.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I do want to like get either Xbox or a PlayStation, just because I feel like I need to get something else, because I don't know. I guess it's like
Because
not so
Nintendo
much
doesn't have anything.
it's not FOMO. It's just like feeling like you're not a gamer, quote unquote, because you only play one console. I'm appreciative of everything that is in the gaming circle, um, but it's also hard when you don't experience it for yourself.
Yeah, I've been a Game Pass subscriber for like whenever it started, and I think like it's finally paying off. I think a lot of the games that they showed are going to be good, and I'm excited for that. Like I'm excited that I am able to play those games, and not really like I just pay $15 a month, so it's not terrible.
Yeah,
But buying the system, that's the pain.
yeah. For something like, and that's I just don't know what I would buy right now, and then what I would play. Like there are a few games that I would like to play, but I would like to continue to play on that system for games that I am interested in.
Well,
And
if
I'm
you get
sure
a
I'll find them.
PlayStation, you could get
but-
Astrobot.
Yep.
You could get Ratchet and Clank,
Yep, Spider-Man.
Spider Man. You could do Last of Us. You could do God of War.
hmm
Just not Lego Horizons. You got to buy that on Switch.
Right. Yep.
Xbox. Yeah, I mean, I think before this presentation, Xbox doesn't have too much, but I don't know. I think Indiana Jones is going to be good. I think Avowed is going to be good.
Yeah, that does look good.
Then there's South of Midnight. Oh man, Or the other one. See,
Life
I can't
is
remember.
Strange.
Yeah, Life is Strange. That's coming to Switch.
Oh, that's right.
I can't remember the ones that are coming in 2025. Then you could also play like Star Wars and
Yeah.
Fable.
Assassin's Creed and
Fable.
oh yeah, Fable. Yeah.
Flintlock. Oh, Flintlock. I think that was a sleeper hit for me. Flintlock.
Well, I'm very curious to see what our community has to say about E3, Summer Game Fest, just presentations in general. Like, what are some of their favorite memories, and just how they feel about it. What are your closing thoughts?
I want Nintendo to stop being a bunch of babies and play nice with the other companies at this time of year.
For me, I like where it's headed because even though everybody said E3 is canceled and they're no longer doing it, this basically is E3. I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of Jeff Keighley. I can appreciate everything that he is doing right now for gaming. It's got to be hard to be in his shoes. But there's something about him that just it's like, are you a fan of gaming, or do you just want to be a celebrity and hang out with celebrities?
It's probably a bit of both.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were in that position, it would be the same thing. Like I would love to hang out with some of these people.
Yeah. I think he knows some of these people because his parents are like, forget what it is, but they have a big part of IMAX.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's why the Game Awards are shown every year in an IMAX theater.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I don't think too much of the guy. I don't know. Like, I watch him do the presentation. That's about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad we still have something, at least.
Mm-hmm.
It's not E3. And then who knows? Maybe by the time this goes live, I will be eating a chip.
Oh God, I hope so. Everybody will be so happy. Bells will be ringing. We'll all go to the town square and announce that Johnny Ebo has to eat the one chip. That will be a big day. Like Nintendo thinks they'll have a big day. No, we'll have a big day.
My most popular tweets right now are when I respond to Nintendo asking for a direct.
Well, speaking of which, where can people find you?
I'm John Ebo everywhere. Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and the Nintendo Powercast, where we will cover the Nintendo Direct when it goes live. And I've also been streaming more. I played Mario Kart on Friday, and I played Star Wars Hunters last week. I'll be streaming again here soon.
Nice. Do you know when?
I don't know.
No. You can find me on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Nintendo Powercast, CheezyC64, CheezyC 64. Close it out, Johnny.
I don't even know. I drew a blank.
Fair.